of the Lord is your strength. Right. So you have no joy, you have no strength, right? Just thought I'd throw that in. That's free. We're talking to some of the directors, some of the people. The first thing I'm going to talk to you about, because I've only got a few minutes, so listen fast. Quality of the recruits. Yeah. Target market people. I want to ask, Angie, what did you do before you, what was your day job?
I was a nurse.
Nurse. Sandy?
Occupational therapist.
Occupational therapist. Louise? Nurse? Huh?
Marine Corps prior.
Marine Corps, dang. What would you do?
Marketing.
Huh?
Marketing.
Marketing?
Marketing. Retail sales.
Retail. Y'all hear this? Where's my cattle farmer? Entrepreneur? Entrepreneur?
Teacher.
Teacher? No. So who are you talking to? Are you talking about the people that live under the bridge? Or are you talking about the people that live on top of the bridge, the balcony people? So you can be working your guts out, because a lot of times when consultants first come in, and some of them never get this, so they're never a success in Mary Kay, because they're recruiting the needy instead of the greedy.
Yes.
And I don't mean that in a negative way, but when you hear Kristen's story, what she talks about is wanting the nice things, wanting the things for her family and her children, wanting them to go to the best schools, wanting them to have opportunities, see the world, wanting them to have all the benefits. And some of you still have small children. I was telling this consultant I was talking to at lunch, she said her little 8-year-old son does not want her to leave. And I said, okay, well, let's set this thing up. Every time he lets you leave to go work, and he doesn't whine or cry or hold on to your legs so you're walking out like this, he gets a $5 bill or something. But before then, you sit down and you pick out the price. He wants, that's too much, do $1, $2, whatever. And then she said also that her husband doesn't mind her leaving if everything's done at home like needs to be done. He wants her to work. Isn't that what you said? Okay. Well, here's the deal. First thing Mary Kay Ash did is told people when you sign up as a new consultant, you get a maid. Somebody to clean your house. Because she said you don't do the penny jobs when you can be out making the dollars. Cheryl Warfield talked about, she hired this girl that lived a couple of houses down. She was a high school girl, and so she would hire her to come in the afternoons where she could get out, work, do her parties, and the girl could fix, she'd have something going on the stove, feed the kids. When Rob came in, he would take over. But she always had a babysitter on Saturday, because Rob said, I'm not working all week and then babysitting on Saturday. I'm playing golf on Saturday. So she had to have somebody in place for Saturday. That's what you have to do. Okay, so target market, 3 out of 5. They're 21 or older. I'm going to say this to you, and since I'm probably the oldest person in the room, I can get away with this. I quit recruiting women my age and over 50 a lot because they're so set in their ways. My mama used to say soft in their ways, okay? And so I started recruiting younger women because all these college graduates got all this education, they're broke as a joke. So I started recruiting people really after 35. I'm not saying I just recruited a woman that's in her early 40s. It depends on the quality of the woman. But I started recruiting younger women because they were more open to being, they were more teachable. For some reason, people start getting jaded. I was 43 when I came into the company. I really think I was the exception, but I was always looking for Mary Kay. I didn't know it was called Mary Kay. I was looking for somebody that I could design my life, that I'd have more money than month. And like I said, the only reason I didn't sign up before is because nobody uttered the word Mary Kay to me from the age of 19 to 43. I just can't encourage you enough to open your mouth to let people know about the money that's involved and the lifestyle that's involved in Mary Kay. That's what it's like Ashina just said. She's not doing Mary Kay for the money. She's doing it to be obedient to the calling of God on her life. But it's a lifestyle we're being called to. A lifestyle of where there's joy in the morning, not dread in the morning. And so, you know, one thing I would say to y'all, I was telling some of the consultants, is Ari Hathaway, did the Million a couple of times, Queen of her seminar, Daisha Wiegand's Offspring National. And she was on the same track that Daisha was, because Daisha did national so fast. And Ari wanted to do the same thing, and it wasn't moving along as fast as she wanted to move. And so one day they were somewhere, and Ari said, Daisha, tell me what I need to change. Tell me whatever I need to change, and I'll do it, because it's not happening as fast as I want it to. And Daisha said, no, Ari, I'm not, you're fine, whatever. No, Daisha, if you could change anything about me, what would you change? She said, I would get a kicking haircut and a power suit if I were you. I think that some of y'all need updates. You say, Beth, you wear big hair. I'm old enough to wear big hair. I'm not going to wear a hair flat on my head, and some of y'all don't need to either. Just learn from your mother, okay? But I'm just telling you, and some of y'all need to put on some more makeup. If you're going to get women of influence, you need to wear some more makeup, and you need to go to who you think. I mean, Kristen looks good, doesn't she? She smells good. She looks good. She dresses good, well, whatever the correct verbiage is. So you want to, have the guts to go up to her and say, if you were me, what would you change about me? You have 20 seconds to make your first impression. 20 seconds. And if you look like a hood rat, you ain't going to get them from the top of the food chain. That's the bottom. That's the bottom. And some of y'all don't, I'm not trying to be ugly. I tell my people, some of y'all don't look like you got a lick of makeup on. I don't mean you have to look like, God bless her, Tammy Faye Baker. But some of y'all need to look like you got some foundation on. Some of you need your eyebrows arched. I don't know why I'm saying all this. I'm just telling you. Some of you need to put some more makeup. We sell makeup. Then why ain't you wearing it? I mean, you know what I mean? And if you're not great at picking out outfits, get somebody that you think looks sharp. I would ask your director first. Because who you may think looks sharp, if you need improvement, may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, okay? But that's what, you have to do it. We're in the cosmetic industry. When we walk in the room, you should get people's attention. Not because your skirt's too short, or everything's hanging out, but because you look like a class act. Aunt Newberry told us when she was at my debut, she said Mary Kay Ash wanted us to be ladies, live like high-class ladies. That's why she gave the pink and gold china. That's why she gave the golden goblets. She would have things that, just like you should have seen how the directors ate last night. We ate on fine china and crystal in this beautiful room that has all this beautiful walnut paneling. I mean, Kristen did it was first class. And that's how Mary Kay wanted her nationals and her top people to live. She wanted us to have the nicer things in life. You have to portray that image. I know that on your job, where's my girl? She can't wear on the cow in Mary Kay what she's wearing on the cattle farm. I know. I'm just telling you, I do not like, these are high heels to me. You see how low the heel is? Because my feet hurt too bad, and some of you that are wearing these god-awful 6-inch heels will pay for it when you're 63, okay? But you've got to look like, they want to look like you. Don't y'all want to live like Kristen? Have the house she has, have the family, the joy you see in the family and all that. You've got to portray what other people want. And so some of y'all need to think, you can't wear the same hairstyle you wore in high school unless you just graduated. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be a smart, but that is, you're not going to appeal to the people you want to appeal to if you look like you're not on trend. Now, I realize that we're the length of my skirt, but I'm 63. I'm on trend for someone my age. I'm not going to wear a skirt up to my thighs. That's crazy. But do you all know this? That Mary Kay Ash at seminar, she would look at the people, the women going across stage, and if they were falling out the top or the skirt was too short, do you know she would get to them and say something to them? She would say, what are you selling? Why? Because you're supposed to look like a class act. You don't want to go into people's homes and you don't look right, and the wife doesn't want you doesn't want to recruit because she doesn't want her husband looking at you instead of looking at the business. And I don't see any of you in here like that. I'm just telling you. look like a lady, act like a lady, and then recruit people. Mary Kay Ash said, that was funny, Shannon just told that story, recruit people that you would sleep with at seminar. And I mean that in the cleanest of ways. Okay? That's what Mary Kay Ash said. Because you don't want to recruit people. Everybody wants to always fix people up and all that stuff. That's why marriages get in trouble. I know when I get him, I can straighten him out. I know who's going to get straightened out. And you do too. You can't do that. Of course, we've all changed. Everybody, I've heard Cheryl Warfield say, I wish we could take a picture of you on your first day as a new consultant and then a year later. Most of us look entirely different. So recruit the greedy, not the needy. Y'all remember that? And, you know, I was telling the directors last night, if a woman can't get together $100 to buy a starter kit, then you don't need to recruit her. Nope. I didn't have $100 when I signed up. But I told her, I said, I get paid next week. Can I post-date a check? Because then people used to use checks. Can I post-date a check? They said, sure. If somebody I'm talking to say, I won't have $100, it's never my personal people. It's usually somebody, they've been brought to my meeting. And I said, well, when can you have the $100? Oh, probably the last of March. I said, is there anybody that loves you that would front you the $100? Because we can take that $100, turn it into $1,000 in 30 days. No, there really isn't. I love you, but bye. I'm gone. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. And I'm not trying to be ugly. If you know, Kristen blew people's mind that what she does is if you're in an interview, my people, when you said I'm in an interview and they ain't present to the moment, those people, she gets Randy to call her and say, you need to come home. And she cuts out. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you get somebody that said, well, would you be interested in making $1,000 a month? Oh, no, I'm pretty satisfied. And she can't got 2 nickels to rub together? Bye. You know what I'm saying? And some of the people, I mean, I have to tell my directors even, I hate to say it, some of them, not all of them, I say, you have got to upgrade the quality of the people you're bringing. This is a multi-million-dollar opportunity. And you're bringing me people that have got dirt under their toenails. No offense, I'm just saying. Y'all act like you don't know what I'm talking about. Do you see who the directors are and who the nationals are? Do you understand what they used to do? Don't you want to recruit directors? Then who are you talking to? Okay, I'll move on. The next thing that I want to talk to you about is learning to close people on the spot. Because too many of us are walking away and say, well, she wanted to pray about it, she wanted to think about it. I'm like, ah! Once they you walk away from them, probably you just reduced your chances to 20% to recruit them. Off the top of my head, that's what I would say. Because what happens when they walk out the door? They go home to their husband, or they go back to from lunch to their coworkers and say, I just talked to this lady, and she was telling me about Mary Kay. She wants me to sign up, and wow, I didn't know all that stuff about Mary Kay. That's pretty awesome. They make a lot of money. Girl, my cousin did that once for me. She didn't make any money. In fact, she went in the hole. I don't know how many thousands of dollars. Really? And so that's when you say, really? Well, we have a 90% buyback. I don't understand. Don't let people get away with saying stupid stuff. And when I said that to that girl that said that to me, I said, I don't understand that. We have a 90% buyback. Then she looked at me and said, well, my cousin's a trip. She said she's like out there on, in Mars somewhere circling the planets. And I said, right, because there's no reason for anybody to ever lose a penny in Mary Kay. Because if you do, you're not taking it off your taxes or whatever. Don't let people get away with saying crazy stuff, but that's why you close them on the spot. Because you don't want people, the negative Nellies, the naysayers, stealing your person that's supposed to be in the business. So the other day I was telling the directors, I signed a lady that I had talked to once with this business professional women's deal, and then we had the dinner that night, and I was standing there talking to her. Her name is Gina. I signed her up. But she was sitting there, and I said, Gina, the million-dollar question, is there any reason why we couldn't get you started tonight? And she looked at me. She didn't say a word. Because the first one that talks loses. So she could manage to have her pregnant pause as long as she wanted to. Because I knew whoever spoke first lost. But here's what happened. She had her 3 employees. She owns a boutique. She looked over there at them. And I was down below her. She was standing up under me. I said, what you looking at them for? It's not their decision. I said, just like that, smiling, smile. Because see, you can say anything to people if people know you care about them. And then she said, she didn't say anything else. My directors told me later, there were 2 of them standing there, she said, I thought I was going to fall in that floor. Because nobody was saying anything. And I said, Gina, I got a napkin, I got a pen. I said, Gina, how do you spell your last name? D-U-B-O-E. Okay, where do you live? 115 Prestige Drive? See, I still remember it. Warner Robins, Georgia? Yeah. She never did say she wanted to sign up. But I knew she wanted to sign up. How many of you would have done that? See, you got to be bold. Cheryl Warfield used to put their pencil up their nose. She put the pencil right in their nose and they'd grab it and start. That's too much for me. So here's the deal. Everybody really wants to sign up. They're just afraid. And so when you start filling out that deal and you start doing that, you start taking down their information, then they have to stop you. Say, whoa, wait a minute. I filled out applications, got to the end, and I said, I need either, a check, cash, credit card, whatever. And they say, I don't have the $100. I said, you don't? Oh my gosh, well, where can we get it? Because I just assumed they had it, and I assumed they were coming in. They have to stop you. And then you take the information, and then you deal with it. Well, is there any reason why can't we go ahead and get this information tonight? And then I didn't bring my credit, whatever their excuse is. And then you go ahead, because see, we're walking away, it's dragging out. Because most of them, if you don't get them then, what happens? You're never going to get them. There are a few people, and let me say this to the SC personalities. Just because it takes you a week to decide if you're coming to this or not, it takes an I and a D that long. Yep, I'm coming, or no, I ain't. And so quit assuming if you're an S&C personality. And you really don't want to deal with SCs at the end of the month. You want to find you some IDs. And you know how you find IDs? What they said, Mary Kay Ash and Idell Moffitt took a college course at a junior college. And they said that people that were ID personalities, they generally have high cheekbones, a high forehead, and Cheryl Warfield told me this the other day, square shoulders. I don't, I have round shoulders. That's how you look at them. So when you're out warm chatting, don't walk to the people that don't have high cheekbones. Everybody can tell that. Sometimes you can't tell if you got bangs, how high your forehead is. And so that's who you walk up to and book them for your portfolio. Okay? I thought that was really interesting. They said Mary Kay even took a hand analyzing course. I don't know if that's true or not. Do you? To be able to look and see if they were going to be a superstar by the way they wrote. I don't know. Okay, 5 minutes, is that right? Okay. If I could answer anything, what would it be for y'all? 5 more minutes. Urgency. And what? Moving fast. Fast is easy and slow is hard. We said that this morning. If you leave here and you don't change anything you've been doing within 48 hours, going home and booking 20 parties, going home and setting up stuff, you'll probably be sitting in the same place this time next year at January Jumpstart. And see, here's what you need to know. We're not just, when I point my finger at you, there's 3 pointing back at me. The directors have got to change something. Kristen's got to change something. Beth's got to change something. That's what leaders do. That's what the top people in industry do. They're always willing to change. If you are unflexible or inflexible, if you won't change, you're going to be part of the herd. That's just the way it is. You know, I really want you to hear that the education in Mary Kay is so powerful. When those sharks talk on Shark Tank, I know exactly what they're talking about. Because I've built a business. I'm the CEO of my business. The thing is, do you realize you're the CEO of your business? How's it working out for you? Is your business a reflection of you? Is your business a reflection of your God-given abilities? It needs to be. Because we were talking here too, and I said I always look in Mary Kay in the directors, in the nationals, and I always say it's like the body of Christ. There's some people that are the brains or the head. There's some people that are the mouths. There's some people that are the hands and the feet. You know, all of us have different giftings, but God uses all of it. Kristen and my personality, I don't know if we're more alike or more different. You know, we're different, but we have some of the same tendencies. And that's how you would be. You know, there's certain things to people that are a success in life that they're doing if they're honorable and have integrity. You know, and that is they're willing to change. They're willing to take their pain and compartmentalize it and move on. You know, it hurts to lose people. Whether they're your team members, whether they're your sales directors, it hurts to lose people, especially if you've invested so much into them. Some of you may not be old enough, but you can raise your children the same way in the same household, and they're very different as adults. And I will tell you, my two daughters, the one that I thought would come home 3 or 4 times a year, is the one that stays right under us. The ones I thought would stay right under us are the one, and she's the one that we may talk to her 2 or 3 times a month. You never know what you have to face. But what I will tell you, God's promise to you, if the thief's been caught, and for some reason the enemy has stolen team members, has stolen a husband, has stolen whatever, the thief has to repay 7 times what he stole. So I was telling one of the directors, you just lost this person? How many people, she was one, how many people did she have? You're due 7 times. But you got to know the promises to call it back in. And I'm not trying to preach to you, I'm trying to say, call what you've lost back in. You're due 7 times. And there's not a national, a director, there's not a consultant that's moving up that hadn't lost people. I want you to know, it's not you. Remember what I said this morning? You didn't make them, and you won't break them. It's just part of the cycle of life, y'all. Mary Kay Ash said there's a third coming in. How many of you are new consultants? This is the first thing you've ever been to. Okay? A third are in. How many of you have been in? And I'm not going to ask the next one, how many of you are leaving? So Mary Kay Ash said you got a third coming in, a third are in, and a third are leaving all the time. It has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with the numbers. And if you will work the numbers in Mary Kay, you will be successful. What I tell the formulas, and you go by what Kristen says, you talk to 5 people, do career chats, sit down with them, you're going to get 1 person. For every 5 people you talk to, you're going to recruit 1. Some of the directors' odds are better than that. But in the beginning, that's what it is. So if you're going to go DIQ February 1, and I hope that a lot of you in here will, then if you have 0 recruits, you've got to be willing to talk to 50 people. If you have 5 recruits, you got to be willing to talk to 25 people, and then you'll be a DIQ. That's the way the numbers roll, and the numbers never lie. So like up here when they kept drawing names, he's not here, you thought how many men were coming? 50, so a third showed up. That's the way it is. So 3% of the population, write this down, 3% are wealthy, Donald Trump, Bill Gates. 10% are comfortable, Kristen and Randy, and 87% are broke and will die broke. So choose this day which group you're going to stay in, what you're going to become, because you have your hands on an opportunity that can take you to the tippity top. You can be a multi-millionaire, but it's all your choice. It's the decisions you make. You are in the position you are in life because of the decisions you've made. That's a hard pill to swallow. Yeah. And people say, well, He controls everything. Let me tell you something. God didn't make us robots. He gives you a choice. He knows which of you are going to say yes, and He knows exactly what you're going to do. But He gives you the opportunity to say yes or no. Last thing I'm going to say, I went to a nationals debut. She had to become a national that year. She was 64, and when you turn 65, it's too late to be a national age-wise. So she made it in right under the gun, and she stood up there, and I love her dearly. And she said, I guess it was just God's timing for me. She'd been in the company for 30-something years. And I want to say, no, that's not right. Because I know you. And one day you were going to be a national, and then the next day you didn't think national was for you. And then a week later you were going to be a national, and then the next week you weren't sure if you wanted to be a national. It says a man that has a double mind in James, it said you'll have nothing. You're either in or you're out. The way you have passion is, no matter what happens in this business, because we've all had setbacks. I don't care if you're the one that's done it the fastest in Mary Kay. You're going to have disappointments. You have it in life. You're going to have it in Mary Kay. Grow up. Put your big girl panties on. You're going to have disappointments in Mary Kay. It's the ones that get over the disappointments. It's the ones that have BBA, baby, bounce back ability. How fast when your booty hits the floor, you back on your feet. And that's the difference for the people that do national in 2.5 years or 20 years. That's the difference. It's that BBA. And don't think, well, yeah, but she was gifted with so much more stuff than me. God's gifted us all. We just got to reach down within us, you know, and we need to find those giftings and graces and use them. Because remember what I said? If you'll focus on your strengths, your weaknesses will be taken care of. I'm not an organized person as far as paperwork and all that, but that didn't keep me from doing the million, and that didn't keep me from doing doing national. And your deal, your weaknesses, it won't keep you either, because I capitalized on the other stuff that I could do. And that's what you have to do. Y'all are amazing. I love your guts. Have a great January jump start. Write this down and look it up. 2 Peter 1:10. Listen to this. I just found the scripture. On account of this, brothers or sisters, rather be diligent to make sure of your calling and election. For doing these things, you will not ever fail. If God's called you to it, if you're not a quitter, you can be sure that you won't fail. Do you receive it?
I receive it.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, we're going to affirm this. So who would like to get up and say something that she just spoke to your heart? That's why you were here today. Come on, who will go first? Tanya, you want to go first?
First, I want to say thank you for being here. You touched my heart today. You told me not to give up, no matter what. Don't ever give up.
Right.
Thank you, Tanya.
Hey, I'm Ashley. Basically, you spoke to my heart because I was one of those that came in, was a whirlwind, did it really quick, climbed straight to the top, won my car 6 weeks from the day I started Mary Kay.
Wow.
And then things with life always happen. You're always going to have disappointments. You're always going to have setbacks. 9 months after I got married, I had a horrible divorce. I let all of that stuff that the devil was working against me for take away the stuff that was bringing me joy. So it's not that I wanted to quit Mary Kay, but I let myself, I let myself down. I let my team members down, and I basically